You know the exact moment. You've been on your feet for 10 hours, you finally get to your car, and you untie your boots. The relief is immediate, but the realization hits that your feet, knees, and back are completely locked up. Every step on concrete sends that shockwave straight through your joints. We often write this pain off as the cost of doing business in a physical job. It isn't. When your back aches at 5 p.m., you are experiencing a mechanical failure of your gear. Women have been navigating heavy industrial floors, manufacturing lines, and trade jobs for decades. For most of that history, the footwear industry offered zero specialized engineering to support them. The easiest shortcut was to buy a men's boot size down. But female foot biomechanics feature a narrower heel and a specific arch profile. Stepping into a smaller men's boot guarantees heel slip, severe blisters, and completely misaligned weight distribution. Today, the industry has swung to a modern marketing trap, the soft sole myth. Brands plaster the phrase memory foam across the box, training us to think that maximum squish equals maximum comfort. This graph maps out the 12-hour comfort crash. That memory foam feels like a cloud at 8 a.m., but look at the 6-hour mark. The material completely compresses under your body weight, and your support plummets directly into the red. By the afternoon, you are essentially walking barefoot on concrete. With the foam flattened to nothing, every ounce of floor impact transfers straight to your knees and lower back. Your foot is now working overtime just to stabilize itself inside the boot. Real, shift-long comfort relies on a calculated trade-off. You have to match the structural engineering of the boot specifically to the hardness of the surface you work on. The golden rule of work boots is simple. The floor always dictates the specific footwear. To stop the pain, we must look at the 3 engineered components of the boot itself. Look at this cross-section. The highlighted layer is the midsole, your primary shock absorber. It diffuses kinetic energy. But watch what happens under sustained body weight. A firm midsole holds its shape, protecting your joints, while softer foam flattens out entirely. Next is the outsole. If you spend your day on flat, unyielding concrete, you want what the industry calls a wedge sole. A traditional boot has a raised heel, which acts like a focal point, driving all your body weight into your heel pad and the ball of your foot. A wedge sole is completely flat underneath. It distributes your weight evenly across the entire surface area of your foot. Finally, we have the safety toe. Traditional steel toes meet safety requirements, but dragging that heavy metal around burns an enormous amount of muscular energy in your calves and thighs. Unless you are working in environments that specifically require steel, upgrade to a composite or alloy toe. You get the exact same ASTM crush protection, but you drastically reduce the swing weight of the boot. Lighter steps mean less leg fatigue at the end of the shift. If you work in warehouse or retail, you belong to a group called the Concrete Marathoners. You are walking up to 10 miles a day, exclusively on ultra-hard, polished surfaces. The Timberland Pro line is engineered specifically for this environment. Their anti-fatigue technology uses an inverted cone system in the footbed that compresses and rebounds, physically returning energy to your foot as you step. They also factor in biological reality. After 8 hours, blood pools in your lower extremities, expanding your foot volume by up to half a size. The wider toe box on a Timberland Pro prevents your toes from being crushed inward as the day goes on. If your job requires you to jump between different surfaces and tasks, you need an all-arounder. This is where models built specifically for women, like the Ariat Riveter or the Casey, excel. Ariat uses an ATS midfoot technology that perfectly locks your foot into structural alignment under heavy downward pressure. Because they build these boots on a female-specific mold, or last, the break-in period drops from weeks down to days. That precise arch alignment anchors your heel in place. Without that constant interior friction and slipping, you eliminate the severe blisters that happen when you try to force a woman's foot to work inside a man's boot. Investing in a boot with advanced rebound foam and a biologically correct mold takes the punishment out of concrete and turns it into a manageable surface. Then we have the hazard navigators. These are women in construction, trades, and agricultural roles navigating mud, standing water, and deeply uneven terrain. Here, the Caterpillar May is the standard. It provides heavy waterproofing to keep you dry and a deep lug tread that bites into loose earth. But there is a trade-off. you have to abandon the comfort of the flat wedge sole. To get absolute traction and stability in mud, you have to accept the weight and structure of a heavy lug sole. On the opposite end of the spectrum are the light-duty pacers, nurses, retail managers, and hospitality staff racking up steps on flat tile and linoleum. The optimal solution here is to drop the heavy leather boot category entirely. Switch to a slip-resistant shoe loaded with massive EVA sneaker foam, like the Skechers Work Summits or the Hoka Bondi SR. The trade-off is simple. You sacrifice heavy crush protection at the toe, but in return, you strip away all excess weight and gain unparalleled joint relief. If your job site doesn't expose you to falling hazards, carrying around thick leather and steel is a pointless drain on your daily energy reserves. A perfectly matched $200 boot will still leave you in pain if you ignore the interior environment. The boot is only the outer shell. The most common unforced error is wearing cheap cotton socks to work. Cotton traps your sweat, causes high friction zones, and guarantees blisters. You need to switch to high-quality merino wool socks. The dense fibers provide necessary padding around your heel, regulate your foot's temperature, and aggressively pull moisture straight off your skin. Next, evaluate the factory insole. The inserts that come inside most boots are flat, basic foam designed to look good on the shelf, offering almost zero structural support. Ripping out that factory insert and dropping in a specialized aftermarket orthotic tailored to your specific arch creates a massive return on investment. Look at this matrix. Spending an extra $60 upfront for an orthotic insert requires a higher initial financial input, but that upgrade aligns your knees and hips, extending the lifespan of the boot and yielding significantly more pain-free months on the floor. So, what does your setup look like right now? Are your current boots saving your feet, or are they destroying them? Drop down to the comments and let me know what you're wearing. Your employer might require work boots to satisfy a safety code, but for you, they are a vital ergonomic tool. Choose the right gear for your floor, invest in the interior, and take your physical